I've been looking forward to this. This is SportsCentre. Welcome. I finally have a co-host again, Rod Smith, along with Jozy Altidore. It was a little bit hard on KJ there. You know, you're on the other side of the fence now.
I see him too much, man. Being honest. Too much.
You know, you may have to interview him later on today. So
we'll see about that.
Put that journalism hat on. Hey, welcome. Great to have you here. Excited?
No, thanks for having me. I'm pumped. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, we thought we would start. We want to give you something just to ease you into your comfort zone. So we thought we'd go with curling, that violent sport that you talked about before. So why don't we go to it now? This is draw 12 of the Brier in Kingston. Take it away, Jozy.
Okay, let's do it. Brad Gushue and his Newfoundland and Labrador rink taking on PEI. Third end, Newfoundland up 2-1. PEI with a double opportunity. Gushue first with hammer. Gets it by the guard. Picks out the red stone. Terrific shot by Gushue. That would lead to a 3-spot for Newfoundland and Labrador, but some trouble in the fifth end. Newfoundland up 5-3. Gushue with hammer facing 2, but he overcurls it, misses the red stone entirely. A steal of 2 for PEI, ties the game at 5. In the 8th, PEI with shot stone, but Newfoundland looking at a hit for 5. Gushue with the hammer. Perfect shot, a 5-spot for Newfoundland and Labrador. They take it 11-8.
You nailed it.
Bad.
And we didn't see any violence there at all, except for rock on rock.
Jozy, it's halftime. I have to say your timing was impeccable on those highlight packs. How's the first half performance?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hot out there, bro. All the lights, it's not easy. But you know, I did my thing. I killed it, you know. Do what I do, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with it.
Good for you. Now, second half, I've looked, you've got some soccer packs, but you've also got some tennis chat, Sloane Stephens chat coming up. So are you going to be independent broadcaster here or fiance? What do you think?
Listen, man, wifey all the time. I'm always cheering for her. So her over everybody. I don't even care who she's playing against. Wifey for the win all the time.
Perfect answer. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right.
Joined now by our NBA analyst, Jack Armstrong. Jack, last night, Pascal Siakam rebounded from a couple poor games with 33 points and a win over the Suns. What did he do different last night to kind of break out of that funk?
Jozy, I think a big part of it was the fact that the game was faster. You know, it was more wide open. There was a lot of turnovers on both sides. He was able to get the ball in the middle of the court. And I think when he has the ball in the middle of the court and he can see everything in front of him, you know, that peripheral vision, in your sport, a center mid has to have. I think a big part of his success last night was being able to see the defenses figure out the scheme. He shot the ball well from three-point range. He was able to get downhill and get to the basket, draw fouls. I just think overall, when he gets locked up in a 5-on-5 half-court game where it's a lot of physicality, he's not the biggest and strongest guy, so there are times he struggles. But overall, when there's flow and there's transition, he's an incredible player.
Kyle Lowry, he's to the Raptors what Michael Bradley is to TFC, a passionate leader, often the engine that makes the team go. Are you amazed at what he's still able to do game in and game out?
You know, Jozy, I am in total agreement with you on that as well. It's a really good observation that you make. You know, when you look at winning and you look at the straw that stirs the drink, and the guys that are really the difference makers, and a lot of times statistically, you can't always put your finger on what it is, but you just know the guy has it. And Kyle Lowry has the it factor. I mean, he can make impactful plays in terms of scoring, rebounding, steals, but then he comes up with those plays that you can't quantify all the time. Taking a big charge, a deflection, a diving into the stands for a loose ball, a block out on a guy a lot bigger, a guarding in the post on a guy a lot bigger, and standing his ground. And when you play with a guy like that, you're like, hey man, wait a minute. This dude is an all-star. This guy someday is going to have his number retired, and he's playing harder than I am. Well, guess what? I got to pick my game up. And I really think the leadership by example with Kyle Lowry has been the thing that has driven this organization the last 7 years.
Absolutely, a terrific leader. And I also want to know what you think about the Greek Freak. Giannis, we all know his talents. Any chance he comes to Toronto when he's a free agent in 2021?
Wow, that's a big question. I'll say this. I don't really know what his thoughts are right now. Obviously, I think there's a lot of pressure in Milwaukee right now to get not only to the East Finals again, but nonetheless to get to the NBA Finals. Right now, they have the best record in basketball. There's high expectations there. And I think if things don't materialize, I think there's going to be an incredible amount of pressure from his camp on the folks in Milwaukee in terms of where are we going with this, and maybe he looks elsewhere. If he gives any hint whatsoever that he's not coming back to Milwaukee, Toronto and everybody else, rightfully so, should be all over him.
He'd be a great pickup for any team. He's a great player. Our NBA analyst, Jack Armstrong, thanks for coming on the show. Joined now by our soccer analyst, Christian Jack. Christian, what type of impact is Victor Wanyama capable of having for Montreal?
Well, Jozy, I think he's a great signing. You know, he brings power, he brings experience. Obviously, it's a player that's playing in the Champions League semi-final not that long ago for Tottenham against Ajax. And when you think about what Thierry Henry's really trying to build in Montreal, is those kind of elements. Discipline on and off the field, a leader who can bring the team forward. This is a team that's not made the playoffs in 3 seasons. You know that all too well as well. They need those kind of leaders who are coming back into this team. And as I said, in midfield, I think that can be a real area of strength for Montreal with Samuel Piette, the Canadian, as well, to bring that pace and power and strength to dominate games. So I love this signing for them.
Yeah, good for them. Good pickup, talented young guy. So we'll see what he brings. And shifting gears now to us, Toronto FC. How do you see the recent injury of Josef Martinez change the expectations kind of surrounding our club this season?
Oh, well, it changes them a lot. First of all, for Josef Martinez, this is crushing, isn't it? I mean,
really sad,
I ranked him my best player in MLS so far in the top 25 to start the 25 seasons of MLS. A player I spoke to in the offseason. He wasn't quite MLS caliber last year, but he was really close. Carlos Vela won it. He won it the year before. He told me, I'm coming for you, Carlos. I want MVP. That's the kind of player that he is. Insatiable desire on the field, the hunger to score goals, much like yourself. But without him, Atlanta drops down the rankings, and it can only help teams like TFC to try and think, okay, we don't fear Atlanta as much.
I mean, it's terribly sad. He's a guy that's coming to the league, and he does exactly what you want. You know, coming into MLS, made a name for himself for Atlanta. So everybody, on behalf of Toronto FC, want to send my best wishes to you, Josef, and hopefully recover 100% and get back to scoring those amazing goals. So we'll miss him for sure. One of the criticisms of the offseason was TFC not bringing in another striker. Do you think they did enough there in that aspect, KJ?
Well, they got Jozy Altidore. They got, you know, this is a guy who can score goals in MLS Cup finals. Yeah. So, look, they got Patrick Mullins as well, who they believe with a free season now came in last season to score the goals. I still don't think people understand how good Pablo Piatti can be either. You know, they've signed a player there. Obviously, he's injured right now, but he can get goals as well. So I don't think attacking is going to be a problem for Toronto FC. You know, Jozy Altidore stays healthy on the field all season long. I mean, look, you know, one of the fearsome front threes in all of MLS with Alejandro Pozuelo and Pablo Piatti. So there's a lot to like about TFC going forward. I don't think there's any problems there. And look, you're going to play almost every game this year, right? So
that's the idea. That's the challenge. And I'm really excited for the season. And thanks for coming on, KJ.
My pleasure, Jozy. It's a bit of a role reversal here for us, right?
a bit. Not too bad.
Been fun. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, Jozy, speaking of basketball, a sport I know you love very much, did you happen to see LeBron's flop against Memphis on Saturday night?
I actually missed it.
Okay, we're going to give you a look at that.
Things about it.
And there's another well-known athlete that did a little flop, too. We're going to have you do a comparison. First, let's start off with LeBron. What do you think here? Might have been some contact, but look at that.
I mean, listen, man, you got to sell it. I think he does a good job. There's contact there, and he's just making sure the referee doesn't miss it. So I think, hey, it's part of the game, man. It's part of it. And he did a good job there drawing the foul.
Okay, what are we comparing to now? This. Who's this guy? What happened here?
You see the right arm, he just throws me down right there, and he's like, yeah, stay on the floor, Jozy. I'm like, yeah, I drew the foul, bro. What's up now? You know what I mean? So, hey, like I said, it's part of the game. It's about position sometimes, more about the contact. So
seriously.
And we had a joke about it there as you see us both laughing. It's all fun.
I was just going to say, but you guys wouldn't do it if it didn't work. Sometimes it does work, right?
Listen, like I said, it's about position. It's part of the game, and everybody does it. There's no harm to it.
So we're going to award a winner here. Who's better, you or LeBron for that?
Who do you think, brother?
We award the Oscar to
my man, right
Jozy Altidore. Okay, and we're gonna have a lot more coming up here.
Jozy, it's over. Another successful performance in your career. How was it?
Yeah, that's what I do. Another day in the life. You know what I mean? So, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to come out here and just step out of your comfort zone for a bit. And everybody here was great, so I had a great time.
In all seriousness, you had like 4 hours to prepare for this. That's longer than you prepare for a game. You come in, you're going through the highlight pack. You were really into this, taking a real professional approach.
Yeah, why not? You know, I think everything I do, I try to give it my all. So this was no different. And I'm just so happy at the opportunity, and I had a great day.
The impeccable timing on the highlight scripts. That was amazing.
Gotta have a feel for that, man. It's all about you gotta have that swagger stuff. You know, I'm happy with how I did. Like I said before, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. Been watching this show since I was a kid, so to be on here and host it with a legend, that was terrific.
Well, you brought your smile, you brought the passion, and of course, you always bring the work ethic. It was great to see you again. Maybe interview you this weekend.
That's it, man. Tired of you.
All right, he's done. He's done with me. But if he does get goals this weekend against NYCFC, I'll be getting him again.
And now it is time for the top 10. And with my co-host here, I think it's only appropriate we take a look at the best of MLS in that season opening weekend. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it. Some great goals. Yeah.
So let's set them up right now. Here they are, starting with number 10, and it is Teal Bunbury, New England and Montreal. Now, a cross into the box. Teal Bunbury finishes it off here for the Revolution. What do you think?
Yeah, look, it's a great ball. Good corner here, a little bit of deception, and great ball in the box. And Teal, good technique, gets over the ball, and that's a good finish, man. Great goal there. Well-deserved in the top 10 there. Good finish from him.
Okay, so Teal Bunbury with number 10. Now, number 9. Okay.
We love Montreal getting scored on.
Yeah. Lucas Zelleryan?
Yeah.
Zelleryan, I got it. Columbus and New York City, FC. And Zelleryan, what's this?
This is nifty, man. They just signed this guy in the offseason. I think he's going to be a good surprise, man. Just a little bit of pocket of space there and shows the quality. Great finish there. Great way to announce yourself.
Turns in the box, top shelf.
Yeah.
Zelleryan, number 8. Gadi Kinda. Whitecaps, Sporting KC. Gadi Kinda's first MLS goal in his career. That's pretty memorable.
Yeah, that's a great whip right there. Good ball, gets over it. No chance for the goalie. What a way to announce yourself again. That's a great goal for him. Good result there for Sporting Kansas City.
Okay. Zdeněk Ondřiček. Dallas, Philadelphia. Ondřiček scoring from outside the box with a perfect shot through 2 defenders.
Yeah, not a perfect first touch, but hey, sometimes it doesn't matter, man. He hits the frame, and sometimes that's all you got to do. It's a good turn, good finish, and the keeper's a little blinded. That's all you need. Good goal.
Number 6, Emerson Hyndman. Nashville had their MLS debut spoiled by this guy, Emerson Hyndman, who scored this beauty in the 37th minute.
Yeah, but you got to take your hat off to him, right? If there's a way to spoil a party, that's it. Great first touch there, and a fantastic volley from a very talented young player, so they deserve that result.
From Hyndman, number 5, Maximiliano Urruti. More from the Impact and Revolution match. Montreal's Urruti lobbing it over the keeper there.
It's all right. You hate to see that. I mean, any jubilation from Montreal is just, it makes my stomach turn. You got lucky, man. You got lucky. That's all it was. You got lucky.
Yeah.
Too
much impact in this, I think. Making an impact on you. Number 4.
This is terrible. I don't even know why we have this on. That's Look at that.
Osvaldo.
The ball was flat, man.
Alanis, San Jose TFC. You know what?
You gotta never do that again.
If this is your job now.
Ever.
Impartial journalist.
Luck.
Impartial journalist you are.
L.
You had him by 2 goals. They came back 2-2 draw. I know it's tough.
It's a
tough aspect of the job. Number 3, Gerson Fernandez and Eric Hurtado, Sporting KC in Vancouver. How about that?
This is nice nifty move there from the kid. Great ball in, and Hurtado scores against his former team. What a way to kind of show them, hey, look what you let go. This is a good finish, good turn, great volley, good goal from him. Good start to the season for Sporting Kansas City.
Okay, number 2, Christian Pavone. Houston, LA. Pavone opens the scoring for the Galaxy with this fantastic finish here.
For me, this is a dark horse for the MVP. This kid is electrifying. He's got good skill, great technique, and he scored some great goals. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this season. Another good goal, man.
Talk about a dark horse for the MVP. How about the reigning MVP?
Yeah.
LAFC taking on Miami. Carlos Vela. How about this individual effort with that stunning chip?
I mean, what do you say about this guy, man? He's coming to the league and he set it on fire. Gets a bit of space and you just can't contain him. He rides tackles right there and then quick feet there and then just says, hold that. Just hold that, goalie. That's a great finish.
Beautiful job, Vela. Our SportsCentre top 10. You know, you've already done the curling highlights. When you say we do a little bit of soccer, that might make you a little more comfortable.
Now we're talking. That's my world.
Okay, I will get it started here with Canadian women's soccer. Canada taking on host nation France in the Tournoi de France ahead of this year's Olympics. It is scoreless in the first half. Ball crossed in for Christine Sinclair. Her header misses high. Great chance for Sinclair to extend her all-time goal-scoring record. Kept off the score sheet, though, in this one. So, that close. We go to the 55th minute now. France free kick. It is Vivian Assay drilling it over the wall, putting an end to the deadlock. Assay with her 5th career international goal. France winning 1-0. Canada will take on the Netherlands in their next match on Saturday.
But it's been a common theme with the Leafs. Do they have players that will buy in?
So that's a great question. And so if you have players that won't or can't, then that's up to the management. That's up to Kyle Dubas and his management team to get the right mix of players. I'm not so sure if they won't buy in or if it's as much as they can't buy in. I don't like the mix of the team. I don't like the composition of the team for being a Stanley Cup contender. And I think that that's where the Toronto Maple Leafs fall short in that area in terms of how their team is composed.
Austin Matthews had another goal last night. He's just one back in the NHL lead. But I want to know, is he the biggest offensive threat in Toronto sports? Or would you give that to Pascal Siakam or yours truly, Jozy Altidore?
Hey, listen, lots of people score in Toronto. Lots of people get lots of points.
Sure.
You know what matters, Jozy? Delivering in the biggest moments. Delivering it when it's championship game time. Delivering the winning goal. It's Jozy Altidore. There can be no question who the best offensive player is in Toronto.
Love that answer, Craig. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I know players take things like player rankings pretty personal. Before the season, you guys had guys like Leon Draisaitl at number 11. Where do you have him now?
Well, it was a big mistake at 11. And Jozy, you should be happy that Leon Draisaitl didn't pick up soccer. Because in Germany, that's their national sport. And I'd imagine he'd be pretty good. I will tell you this, we didn't have him high enough. I didn't have him high enough. But when I get to vote for the MVP of the National Hockey League at the end of the season, he will be number 1. So I will be able to make amends for it. But what he's done on the ice is clearly phenomenal.
Well, that's terrific. Our NHL analyst, Craig Button, thank you so much for coming on.